Okay, we're on to the next presentation. Measurement of angles using the circular fraction pieces and the Montessori protractor. So I have grouped different fraction pieces here. I'm going to actually start with 1/3. So I want to measure the size of this angle right here. Okay, so if this were a triangle, of course it isn't a triangle because we have a curved side, but if it were a triangle, this would be the vertex of the triangle. Remember, the vertex is just the corner of a triangle, and these would be two of its sides, right? Two of its sides. Okay, and if you remember, the vertex of the protractor is the center of the circle, and this is the side of the protractor. So in order to measure this angle, we need to line up the vertex of the triangle with the vertex of the protractor. So right there. Okay, I have placed both vertices together. And the second step is I need to align one of the sides of the triangle with the side of the protractor. So I'm going to move this around until I get my sides to coincide right there. So my vertices are together, my sides are together. And then to take my reading of the size of my angle, I go to the other side, and that's where I take my reading. Okay, so here's my first side. It's lined up with the side of the protractor. The two vertices are lined up. To take my reading, I go to the other side, and that says 120 degrees. I made a table here. I'm going to go ahead and record that the 1/3 fraction is 120 degrees. Okay, 120 degrees. Okay, good. So now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to measure now 1/6. Okay, so again, I'm going to line up the vertex of this pretend triangle to the vertex of the protractor. There they are. They're lined up. I'm going to align one of the sides of the triangle to the side of the protractor by turning it this way. So there we are. There's the sides are lined up, the vertices are lined up, and I go to the other side to get my reading. And my reading, if you see there, is 60 degrees. 60 degrees. So I'm going to record that on my table. That 1/6 is 60 degrees. Okay? All right. Now, I would like to do 1/9. So we've done 1/6, we've done 1/3. I'm going to put those aside. Okay, here's 1/9. Okay, and I'm going to line up the vertices. There they are. Both vertices are lined up. And then I'm going to rotate this until the side of the triangle is lined up with the side of the protractor. So I rotate it this way until they line up. I go to the other side to take my reading, and my reading is 40 degrees. 40 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and record that. 1/9 is 40 degrees. Okay. We keep going in this manner, in the order in which the fractions show up, and measure all the angles. And once we do that, we get well, I think it's easier if we just keep going. It's probably going to be quicker than anything else. All right, so the next one we're going to do is 1/4. And it's really important that you do them in this order because they go from the easiest to read on the protractor to the most difficult. So you don't want to start the child off by having to read between the numbers. You want to start off with fractions fraction pieces that are going to, land right on a number that's written here. So 1/4, we did 1/4 actually in the last presentation. We line up the vertex of the triangle with the vertex of the protractor, and then we need to bring the side next to the side. We rotate it around and we end up with 90 degrees. So I can write that 1/4 is 90 degrees. Okay. Use that to keep it down. Okay, so we are done with 1/4. Next is 1/5. We line up the vertex with the vertex, the side with the side. 1/5 is actually 70 degrees. 70 degrees. Okay, 70 degrees. The next one that we do after 1/5 is 1/8. And this is all in your manual, so you don't need to remember this. Vertex with vertex, side with side, and 180. Okay, so here's the first chance that we get to read between the numbers. So we have 40 and 50, and right between 40 and 50, we have a sort of a line that's half as long as the 40 and 50, and that line represents 45 degrees. So, and I would say this is probably second level work. All right, second level work. 45 degrees. Right, and okay. Now we've done 1/8. The next one to do is 1/10. Here's 1/10. 1/10 is actually 35 degrees. 35. Okay. 35 degrees. All right. And after 1/3, I'm sorry, after 1/10. After 1/10, we do 1/2. 1/2. Okay, so in this case, it's kind of hard to see what to do, but if you picture this as a full circle, the center would be like right there. So I'm going to line up that center with the center of the protractor. I'm going to line up one side with the side of the protractor, and I'm going to read along the other side, which gets me 180 degrees. And that makes sense because 1/2 is halfway around the circle, and half of 360 degrees is 180. Okay, we've done 1/2. Next we do a whole unit. So a whole unit, if you, again, remember the star, starts here, it's going to be, a whole circle is actually 360 degrees. It's equal to 360 degrees. And then we have one more to do, and that is 1/7. And 1/7 is, 1/7 looks like, it looks like about 51 degrees to me. Okay, it's about 51 degrees. Okay, so there you go. We have used our protractor to measure all of these fraction insets. All right, so as a follow-up, what I would like you to do is I would like you to, I would give the child a blank table, which would just have fractions, degrees, and then it would list the fractions, and then have the child go ahead and measure for themselves, all right, into their notebooks.